Hey guys, um, you're shocked, aren't you? Yeah, you're you're getting a Bubble Guppies review on Monday, and the reason why is this weekend I was feeling kind of lazy. I was supposed to do my review, but I kind of forgot about it. I was supposed to on that day when I was supposed to record it. I kind of like fell asleep. I was gonna just like take a short nap, but that nap turned into like a 3 hour nap, and then well, yeah, I overslept. So yes, you guys are gonna get this review um today on a Monday, but does that mean there won't be a review this week? Yes, there will be. There will be a review. There will be a review this Friday. Don't worry. There will be a review. So without any further ado, let's get on to this review. Hello everybody. My name is Kamara, and today we're going to be reviewing our 14th installment of the first season of Bubble Guppies. Season 1, episode 14, Boy Meets Squirrel. In this episode, the Bubble Guppies learn about trees when Naughty befriends a squirrel. Now this episode, I really do. I really like this episode. It's really it's a good episode to play on Earth Day, which is ironic because this episode aired a day after my this episode aired a day after my third birthday, I think. My third birthday. Yeah, this episode aired a day after my third birthday, so I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of it. I mean, obviously it's an Earth Day special, so of course. But yes, it is a really good episode. And this one is a naughty centric episode. I believe our second one. I believe this is our second naughty centric episode. I think our first naughty centric episode was Fishkeball, although I could be wrong. I think so. I think this is our second Nani centric episode, which is good because I love Nani. I love him. I love him so much. Like I said, my dad nicknamed me Nani, so whenever we watch the show, we'd be like Nani, which yeah. So our episode starts with Nani swimming to school. Nani swimming to school, and then he heads over to the park area, and that's where he meets his friend the squirrel, and then he sees him collecting acorns, and then he sees a lobster named Mr. Legestein, who explains to him that he's collecting nuts, and then he learns a little bit about recycling when Mr. Legestein's newspaper flows away with the wind, and there's different bins with trash, paper, and recycling. And then the squirrel does this cute thing with his cheeks where he always stuffs a nut in his cheeks, which is just the cutest thing ever. And then Nani, the squirrel gives Nani an acorn to show his friends at school. And then when he finally gets to school, he shows his friends the acorn that he got, and then they explain in the question segment about things that grow about trees and what creatures are on trees. And then we have the pop song Mr. Tree, which is a really fun song. I like it. And that song really just like explains to you, just really explains about like where would the world be without trees. Like, if the world didn't have trees, we wouldn't have all the healthy things or the fruits we needed, and we wouldn't have like trees to help us clean up the air. Like, trees are very important. And then we have our shop segment with Dima, which is the tree outside. That's what it's called on the wiki. I know that. I mean, why can't I was thinking they would call it something a bit more catchy, like tree home resort. Not really resort, but I don't know. But she has two clients. Una with a bird and Nani with a bunny. And there's and I like how there's a little bit of like problem solving to when it comes to Gobi and his little bunny. And I won't say where Dima put his bunny, but it was really funny, especially that face the bunny was making. It's just, the bunny's just really cute. I like how they gave the bunny a fishtail and the bird. Like, whenever they incorporate like everyday animals with fishtails, I just squeal with delight, because a mer bunny, a mer bird, just, oh my god, it's the best of both worlds for me. It's just the best of both worlds. And then we have our lunch joke, and this is actually one of my favorite lunch jokes from the season: macaroni and trees. We have from Nani. And then we have our Molly and Gil segment, and then we have Gil. He's searching around a tree, and he wants to look for a bunny. He wants to look for a bunny to be his friend, and then he's looking all around the tree, but he's not looking below the tree. That's where bunnies normally hide. And then he sticks his head up in the tree, and then a bird's on his head. And then we cut over to the classroom, and then some of the guppies are coloring, and then we even learn that while we're in the classroom, we learn about how trees also produce paper. And when some of the guppies, like for example, Una, she used both sides of her paper. She didn't want to keep the picture. She wanted to throw it out. And Mr. Grouper explains that she can recycle it. Mr. Grouper explains that she can recycle it. And then we cut over to another question segment, and he explains about the things that grow on trees and stuff. And then we have our dance song, which is a recycling dance, which is really, really fun. It's really fun. I like to dance. I love to dance to this song a lot as a kid. And then we have our storybook segment, which is called the tree people. And then there's we have this fly who kept on like eating the they call them bingo fruits, but I really wanted to eat them. They kind of look like plums to me. They look like plums. They still look like plums to me as right now. But he kept on like eating, just taking like one bite and like throwing it away, and that made me so mad. That makes me so mad now, because like I like if somebody was to make an effort to make me mad, it would be to not waste waste food just right in front of my eyes. That's my rage fit right there. That is my rage fit. If you were to make me mad, the one thing you would do to make me mad, just waste food in front of me. Just take one bite and throw it away. That's the way to get me mad. But yeah. Then we have like they have to this cute little thing where they like go under and then over, like, and that's actually a reference to like some of those old video games. I'm pretty sure from the Nintendo era, the early Nintendo era, where you had to jump and stuff like that. And then when they finally get up the tree, they tell the fruit fly that he's eating all the fruit, and then he's like, why not? There's plenty more. And then they said, nuh-uh, you ate all of them. So then luckily they make a deal with him. If he helps them grow more bingo trees, then he can have some of the bingo fruit. And luckily the trees spawn, and which makes more bingo fruit for them to eat. And honestly, I think this episode and another one in season 3 might be the only times we see these characters in a story. Like, I mean, what I mean is, a Gobi, Gil, and Una story. I want to think of the Bumblebee Athlon in season 3 counting, but we have to remember we had Dima. We had Dima in the story in the first half, and then we had her in the end. So yeah, I don't think it really counts. So I think this might be our only Gobi, Gil, and Una centric story. I don't know. I could be wrong. Or should I count Happy Shrimptennial Celebration? Should I count that? Something's telling me to count that. I don't think I should, because Gobi was the narrator and Una and Gil was the one acting out the story. But I don't know. This might be our only correct me if I'm wrong with this one. But I think this might be our only Gil, Gobi, and Una centric story in this series. I think I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, okay. Then we have another Gil Molly and Gil segment, which Gil is still looking for that bunny again, and then he ends up sticking his face in the hole of the tree, and then this scene made me scream at the kid because I hate characters being covered in stuff, and he has caterpillars all on his face. Ugh. That send squeamish things down my spine. Oh God. Okay, and then we have our field trip segment, which is at the forest park, and then since it was so windy today, by the way, I love the Guppies' little sweaters and stuff and little hats. Whenever the Bubble Guppies wear hats, they look so cute. They look so cute. I believe the only characters that were wearing hats were Una and Nani, and the other Guppies were wearing hoods. I think I could be wrong. Yeah, I think I'm right. I think so. If I'm wrong, I can correct it while editing this. I can correct it. But if I'm not wrong, then yeah. And then it's so windy and there's a whole mess in the park. And then along with that, Nani can't find his squirrel friend. And then he even sees his little place damaged a little bit, and his acorns fell as well. And man, just seeing Nani like this just made me really sad for him, you know. And here's where I'm about to get here's where I'm gonna start quote unquote defending Nani here, because I see a lot of people, especially on the fandom, criticizing Nani for this scene online when all the other Guppies are cleaning up and he's not cleaning up and he's the only one looking for his friend. Okay, I'm gonna be as nice as I can. Get off of his back or his fin, whatever you call it. He was worried about his little friend, okay? I understand that he didn't clean up. And mind you, he somewhat in a way did clean up, because he said, and I quote, "When he found his squirrel friend, I picked up all your acorns for you." So he did do somewhat of a cleaning up. And also, squirrels need nuts to survive. So not only that, but Nani also helped him with his food supply. So he's not wrong in my book for this case, okay? So for any of you who want to criticize Nani in this scene for not helping his friends clean up, can you at least give him some credit that he actually helped his squirrel friend get his food together? Okay? Just, man, whenever people go at him at this scene, that makes me so upset. He didn't do anything wrong. Okay, I'm gonna calm down. We're almost done with this review. I'm gonna calm down. Whew. I'm calm. Okay, and then when everybody finally finished cleaning up, we get this little viewer interaction, and they said if they wanted to be sure that everything was cleaned up, and then Mr. Grouper swims up to the camera. He says, "If you see anything we need to pick up, say pick it up." And then the camera pans over to a newspaper on the floor, and then it's this funny scene where Dima was like, "I'll get it," and then the newspaper keeps on moving, and it's just like, "Stay still." And then she was like, "Come back, newspaper, you're going in the recycling bin." And then when Nani picks up the newspaper, Squirrel's under there, and Dima squeals, and then she swims away. I love it when Dima screams. It's just so cute. She gets so squeamish over the tiniest of things, and honestly, that was me as a little kid. That was me. And then Nani's really happy that he found his friend and that he's okay. And then he's okay. And I like that little scene and then he finally introduces the Squirrel to his friends, which is really really sweet. And I like it how Demon's like, "Hello, Squirrel," and and then he stuffs the nut in his mouth. It's so cute. I love it when he does that. That's just so cute. And then he uses the newspaper that Nani picked up, and he uses to fix up his home, which I thought was really really cute. And then out of the blue, this um quote unquote the president of the squirrels comes over to the bubble guppies, and they give them like this award for cleaning up the park, which I think was really 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 sweet. It was really really sweet. And honestly, Nani deserves it, you know? He deserves it. He definitely deserves this award. Not just his friends, but mostly him. For not only making a friend, but just, helping out, because in times like these, like, people, no matter what creature it is, we need to help out our creatures, because if we don't take care of them enough, they're not going to be on our planet for as long as we want them to, you know? So, I love Nani. I love Nani in this episode. And I even like it at the scene where the camera pans up into the trees, and then we have both him and Squirrel in the trees, which was just that was just too cute. And his little giggle at the end just made my heart smile. And then we have our last Molly and Gil segment of the episode, where Gil's trying once again to get that bunny to be his friend, and then he dresses up as a tree, which might be a reference to him dressing up as a flower in our previous episode, The Spring Chicken is Coming. And he tries to lure the bunny, but it turns out he doesn't just lure the bunny. He also lures the other animals, like birds and caterpillars. And oh man, it's just, oh man. And then he just misses the bunny, and then the bunny finally gets a hold of that carrot, and then Molly giggles, ending the episode. So overall, this episode was really, really sweet. It was really fun. I love Nani in this episode. If you guys don't know, I am a Nani stan, and I will defend this guppy with my fiber and being. And he's just the sweetest character. And seeing him make a friend outside of his class friend group was just the sweetest thing ever. It really was just the sweetest thing. It really was. Just like how like Gil and Bubble Puppy, like Nani and Squirrel is just so cute. And I wish we got to see these two characters again. I wish. But I mean, as Dr. Seuss says, don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened. So yes, I'll happily give this episode a 10. It is beautiful. And the dynamic with Nani and Squirrel and the whole Earth Day episode, Inspire episode, it's a really good episode, and I absolutely love it. So tune in to our next episode, as we will be reviewing season 1, episode 15, Have a Cow. See you all next time.